So President Biden wants to give us $7,500. That sounds really good, but what would we do with that? Could we use some of that money to help pay for bills? Yeah. Could we use some of that money to put into retirement? Possibly. Or maybe we'll take that $7,500 and we'll pay down some of our debts. That could be good, right? Well, whatever you do or could do with that $7,500, the Biden administration wants you to do one thing, and then they will give you that money. And so you're going to figure out exactly what that is in just a minute. But if in this video I sound somewhat sarcastic, there's a reason for that. It's because I am. President Biden believes it would be a great idea to give people up to $7,500 to go and buy an electric vehicle. You know, one of those vehicles that cost $50,000, $60,000, $75,000. Yeah, that would be a wonderful idea. Yeah, he wants us to go out there and spend money on something that we do not desperately need. Now, you know what makes matters even worse? Gas prices are projected to go up due to China reopening. Yeah, they're not going down, they're going to go up. According to global economists, they project that China is going to eat up to about 3.3 million barrels of oil per day in excess of what they are currently using now. We know OPEC, they cut production just recently by 2 million barrels of oil per day. This happened back in November. And with limited lease sales here in the United States, guess what? This all spells a recipe for disaster as demand increases but supply actually drops. Again, that's a horrible situation to be in. And it's not like we can just turn to our strategic petroleum reserve and bring gas prices down like we did in the past. No, we can't do that again because President Biden has already done that. And it won't be as easy as just going and returning to the strategic petroleum reserve because it's already at its lowest point it has been in like 40 or 50 years. So again, that's not an option. But we do have some good news. We can still get that up to $7,500 tax credit by purchasing an electric vehicle. All right, great. But it isn't going to be a refund. This is a tax credit. Let me give you an example. Let's say you go out there and you buy the new Ford Lightning, right? You spend pretty much 2-3 years of your salary every single year to go and afford this new truck. Great. Well, maybe at the end of the year you are owed, let's say you owe $4,000 in income taxes back. Okay, or you owe $4,000 in income tax. Okay, great. Well, you will get a tax credit of $4,000. You know what happens to the remaining $3,500? Yeah, that's not coming back to you as a tax credit. You would simply forego that amount. Doesn't that sound like a great deal? Yeah, wonderful. But if that wasn't the greatest news you've heard today, well, listen to this. Many cities officials across the Midwest have been warning residents over the past week to avoid charging their electric vehicles during periods of peak cold. Yeah, I addressed this morning. As if we charge our electric vehicles, this could actually overload the power grid and cause rolling blackouts. Again, I've talked about this in the past, that how do we go and charge an electric vehicle if we are being told, hey, we got to unplug things. We got to use less utilities, less electricity. How do we do that when we also got to charge our electric vehicle? Now, it's not a good situation to be in. Now, doesn't this sound like the ideal time to go and buy an electric vehicle? Yeah, I didn't think so. But, according to reports, the Biden administration is still pushing this. The Biden administration, and this is the crazy part, is the Biden administration, they have gone to great lengths to move away from fossil fuels. But the problem is that they have, that they've had in the past, is they're going up against their own party. They're going up against Senator Joe Manchin out of West Virginia, who's against the Democratic agenda and has been for some time, and he's not going to budge. So this is the Democrats' problem, and they pretty much put that on their own hands. But here's something else I can tell you. And you're probably thinking, well, I don't think Democrats really want to push the electric vehicle, that agenda anymore, because gas prices are going down. it makes sense to own a gas-powered vehicle. Yeah, it does now, but when gas prices were $5 a gallon for here in the U.S. on average, did it make sense to own a gas-powered vehicle? No. I know I was considering even buying an electric vehicle. Then I looked into the prices, how much they've gone up, and then all the issues surrounding them, and I was like, you know what? I really don't want an electric vehicle, especially if I can't get the full $7,500. But in order to get that, I pretty much got to pay up to get anything. Now, I want to read you this comment that I received just a few days ago. This is actually on Monday. It reads, and again, listen to this. It reads, "Old Joey tells us to get an electric vehicle because it will save us money on gas. So, stupid me, I get an electric vehicle. And then just last night, I decided to park it behind my husband's truck outside of our garage. Guess what? The power has been out for the entire night and my car is dead. I attempted to push my car out of the driveway, but due to the ice, it is frozen to the ground, and now neither my husband or myself can get to work. Does this sound like it is saving anybody money?" That's exactly true. And we see these issues all the time. Is that an electric vehicle will only go so far, then it's going to need a battery replacement. Battery replacements can be, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000, whatever it costs, and that's not saving anybody money. So it creates another issue is, does this really save anybody money? In some cases, in the initial phase of ownership, yes, it will, but it also depends on how much you drive. Now, one thing I can tell you is, yeah, the Biden administration wants to give us $7,500 to go and buy an electric vehicle as a tax credit, as of an incentive. But really, does it make sense? To me, no. It does not make sense to go and buy an electric vehicle, pay $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 or more for this vehicle. Maybe you pay cash, maybe you don't. You have a high payment because interest rates are going up. Again, does this make sense? No. And I just want to reiterate this. I see a lot of people talking about this whenever I bring up gas prices, is why does the Biden administration keep on pushing for this go electric, go EV? Well, that's his agenda. That's his goal, right? Fight climate change. I get it, but at the same time, it's not the right move and it's not the right time to do it. So, we will see what happens moving forward, but what I can tell you is there's going to be a lot of discussions, a lot of talks moving forward as to, was this a good idea to pass this $7,500 EV tax credit, or is this going to put more people in harm's way? Well, we're going to find out very soon, and as we get more information, I promise I will be here. I will fill you in on all the latest news and updates. Again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.